Thank you, Drew. My name is Becca Robertson, and I'm here to talk to you about business etiquette and socialization while doing business with the Chinese culture. There are many things to consider, especially because the Chinese culture is very, very into etiquette. You have to be very polite. We'll start by talking about gender and age roles. And the first thing that you need to consider is that seniors deserve respect, and that in their culture it is very important to always be sure that the eldest person in the room is seated first and greeted first and is always given the utmost respect. Often older Chinese people will look down to the ground when they're greeting someone, so don't be offended or think it's weird. It's just simply part of their culture. You should also wait to be seated until it's your turn, as they go from oldest to youngest, and they go through that line while seating people and greeting people and hearing opinions. There is no gender bias in their business culture. However, women should be very conscious to dress conservatively because revealing clothing is very offensive to the Chinese culture. There are several things to consider and plan for when you consider the business transactions. For example, there will always be at least 2 social events. Socialization is very important in the culture. That it's important for the Chinese to get to know you and to trust you and to feel like they know who they're doing business with before they will consider anything. So it's very important to be prepared for socialization. The first day or so of your trip there you'll be left alone to rest from your trip, but after that, be prepared to spend long evenings socializing and drinking in bars with them or having meetings at the clubs that they have. Be prepared for that. It would be offensive if you refused an offer or an invitation to go somewhere like that. There will usually be at least 2 social events. There will be one large one where you will be among many people and you will be long hours and there will be many things going on, and then there will also be a smaller one where maybe you're just invited to go and have drinks with the person you're doing business with. And so either way, it's very important to attend to this and participate and be as involved as you can in this, because that will show them that you are trustworthy and that you are willing to be friendly and get to know them. With business format regarding memos and reports and the like, if any papers or handouts or any papers that you have to show them should be both in English and Chinese, because this shows respect for the fact that you both have different languages and you want to be able to communicate clearly. Business cards are a huge deal in China. They love business cards. So if you have business cards, be sure to present them to everyone present and hand them over with 2 hands, like so, to show that you really value your business card, because it's an emblem of who you are and what you represent. So when you receive a business card as well, be sure to take it with both hands and do not put it in your back pocket or just put it away somewhere. Examine it carefully, look at both sides, read the information on it, and portray that you really do care about the information that's on it, because that is a representation of who they are. Put it somewhere where it will be seen still, so put it on the table in front of you. Don't just put it away somewhere, because that's very disrespectful. For currency and money dealings and the like, it's similar. Everyone deals with money, but the one thing that you should keep in mind is that business takes a long time in China. You don't go and have a meeting and seal a deal. You will go and you will socialize and you will get to know them. You should become friends with them before considering that they would sign a contract or have anything to do with your business, because trust must be earned first. They will not trust you if you are not willing to socialize with them. For food and recreation, when you're finished eating, leave some food on your plate. When you're finished drinking, leave something in your cup, because if you eat everything off of your plate or drink your entire drinks, then the host will often feel that you have not had enough to eat and will refill until you stop. until you leave food on your plate. So if you don't want to have more than leave something on your plate, and this can be a sign of respect as well, because if you're never satisfied and that you finish your whole plate, then they will feel that you're never satisfied. It's offensive to not at least try everything that's offered to you. The Chinese culture takes great pride in their food and offering it to you and showing you that they're giving you something of theirs. So try everything, even if you don't like it. It's important to try it. And it's also important that if everyone else has a drink in front of them, that you should have one in front of you. If you don't drink alcohol, that's fine, but at least have water or something with which to toast, because toasts are very popular. And so if you are the only one without one, then you will seem untrustworthy. This goes the same for having a cigarette. Even if you don't smoke, be holding one or something to show that you are trying to participate as much as you can. For entertainment, the Chinese they love to show you a good time. They love to take you out, and often you will be presented with dancers and exotic music and the like. One thing that is very important, it's not slightly awkward, is to be very clear. If girls are brought out, to be very clear on where you stand with that, because they will try to push you into a situation that might become uncomfortable. Not always, but it can happen. So be very clear if you see that happening to stand your ground. For the time and space that is required to do business with the Chinese is very great. You will not be going for just a couple days. As I stated earlier, you would be going for a long time to build a relationship and to make sure that they know that you are someone who can be trusted. I have a quote here from one of our articles that we read, and it said, "In most cases, time is of the essence, so socializing is necessary. On one hand, your foreign hosts recognize that you have just spent a great deal of effort and time traveling overseas to do business and want to be as hospitable as possible. On the other hand, becoming fast friends gives you potential business partners a glimpse into the personalities that they'll be working with as well. Socializing in this manner lessens the learning curve." When you're doing business abroad, it is of the utmost importance to be on board with the local and corporate culture that you'll be engaging with. It's very important to be on board with that and to make sure that you recognize that time is necessary. Most of the foreign hosts will want to have at least one main social event, which can be a banquet or a party or an outing. So it's really important that you become prepared to do that. For gender roles, once again, they're unbiased. Women and men are treated equally in business. It is very important that women dress modestly. Jeans are worn by both men and women, but not to business events. And your business attire would be conservative. Whether you're male or female, you would dress conservatively, not too formal, not too casual. Try to dress as you see your host. So if you spend one day with them and recognize that they dress a certain way, try to dress that way as well. Be very careful with colors of any kind, of handouts, of clothing, of anything that you give to them, because the colors are all meaningful. All colors have a meaning, and so it can be easy to offend if you don't know the color meaning. Like, for example, white represents death, and while white represents things like purity and innocence, in our culture it represents death in theirs, and so you wouldn't want to give them something that is white or wear too much white, because that would bring thoughts of that upon them, and that's not something that you want. There are several things to consider when doing business in China, and I hope that I have covered most of them and given you information that can help you on your way. And now I will turn the time back over to Drew for our conclusion. Thank you.